Trump threatened, it's now put into action, to have a naval blockade at the Strait of Hormuz. And he is threatening any ship that tries to go through, regardless of what kind of ship, that goes through the strait without U.S. purchased oil or petrodollar.
Yeah.
Oil that's purchased in the petrodollar. So if a ship just purchased oil in yen, like they're possibly a target.
There's a few countries getting involved into this because obviously we know that the strait is a very important chess piece on the map. But so here's what's going on. So UK is saying that it will not support the blockade. So basically the UK is saying, hey, like, we're not going to support this blockade that the US is doing. So the Pope said that. Trump wrote back, said he's weak, yada yada, and then Trump said if I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. 1 out of every 5 voters in the US are actually Catholic. Okay, so that's 20%. So Trump won them by about 20 points in 2024, but just so you guys know, his approval rating from Catholics has dropped down from 59% to 52%. So he's lost 7%. You guys know what the weight of the S&P is, right? And we talked about how the Magnificent Seven hold over 30% of the weight in the S&P 500. Well, guys, just this week, 12% of the weight of the S&P 500 is going to go through earnings. So that's quite a bit. Now, next week, we have Tesla reporting on April 20th. The first full year revenue decline in history last year, by the way. The whole year declining revenue, guys. Robotics and automation is their pivot. We know that the Model S production ended and factory converted to robotics. So a year in decline.
I'm guessing something came from it to where, Justin decided to lash out again. But the main thing he pointed out is that the smart contract is upgradable for World Liberty Financial, meaning they could change the permissions on it anytime that they want, right?
Right, which is crazy.
And one thing that he noticed is that there is...
Welcome back to another episode of The Market Take, breaking down what's happening around the world in the markets and in crypto.
And if you like being informed about this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you do watch our content and you're not sure if you're subscribed, please double check. A lot goes into making these videos, and we get super motivated when we see that people are interested. So yeah, thank you.
Welcome back to another episode of The Market Take. It is April 13th. The year is flying by. We are not deep into Q2, but we're in Q2 already. And it's time for some earnings this season, but we'll talk about that when we get into stocks. But man, time is flying. Oh, that's right, because ever since we went to the moon, time's flying way quicker. What we think is they actually moved the moon a bit closer, and that's why time is just going by a bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, guys, the astronauts landed yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Anyways, they landed.
Back home?
Back home from circling the moon.
You mean from their Sandals vacation with all that AI slop they put out for the trip?
From their what?
From their Sandals Resorts vacation.
Sandals? Why
Sandals is, I don't know. I just picked Sandals Resorts. I don't know.
Out of all resorts, why that one?
The Office, Sandals, Michael Scott, if you know, you know.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, did you watch the video of them re-entering into the Earth?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh,
but
okay.
I am curious what happened.
No, it was smooth, man. It was actually insane. Everything went according to plan. Yeah, I mean, it was successful. It was a real successful moon mission, a real trip around the moon, the furthest that humans have ever traveled from Earth. But yeah, it was cool to see. Man, if that heat shield failed, they would have been toast.
Whoa!
Like they would have been like disintegrated instantly because that. When that capsule landed in the water and the close-ups on it, dude, it was burnt to a crisp.
Where did it land exactly? Did it land in the ocean?
In the Pacific Ocean off of the San Diego coast. Somewhere around there. But yeah, very cool. Very awesome.
Should we get into it?
Get into it.
Well, guys, obviously we can't start the podcast without a war update. So let's talk about the Iran ceasefire stuff. There was some updates that just happened literally today and yesterday. So if you guys remember, Trump basically gave a ceasefire deadline on April 7th, and that was brokered by Pakistan. And then Trump basically announced on Truth Social that Iran's supreme leader approved it. basically after like a last minute nudge. So I'm sorry, after a last minute nudge from China. So they basically extended it 2 more weeks for these peace talks. Now, on April 11th and 12th, Vice President J.D. Vance met with Iranian officials in, if I pronounce it right, I'm sorry, but Islamabad, Pakistan, for basically some face-to-face negotiations. So nothing really came out of that. They didn't come to an agreement, and they basically kind of flew back. Did you see all those Pakistani fighter jets escorting the Iranian like main plane? There was like 6 different fighter ships just like circling around this huge plane. It was really cool to see, actually.
Yeah, no, I personally didn't see that, but we did something similar for when Russia visited Alaska. If you saw that, like,
no.
Yeah. So when Putin was flying in,
Yeah,
our planes were escorting him in, like our fighter, like F-35 fighter jets and everything, and just basically just side by side circling and stuff.
that's so crazy, bro. It's
Yeah,
so like cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah,
badass.
that's what they do when
Yeah.
it's like high like profile talks like that, and it's like, you know, with foreign adversaries, because textbook Russia is a foreign adversary, Iran's a foreign adversary to Pakistan and the U.S. So like they have to like have huge security measures like that.
Right.
But
so part of the reason why the peace talks didn't go the way that they wanted to is basically Vance said that Iran refused to stop enriching uranium, which we know has been kind of the tail of the tape with this whole Iran nuclear weapons situation.
So they
and
say.
then Iran kept saying that the U.S. basically kept shifting their goalpost, and then they announced the blockade. So that's kind of what killed the negotiation.
yeah.
You want to get it into the blockade?
Yeah, very interesting, man. You know, and we made a post about this last week or yesterday actually, but like, you know, Trump threatened to, well, it's now put into action to have a naval blockade at the Strait of Hormuz, and he is, you know, threatening any ship that tries to go through, regardless of what kind of ship, that goes through the strait without U.S. purchased oil or you know, the petrodollar, oil that's purchased in the petrodollar. So if a ship just purchased oil in yen, like they're possibly a target, which is, you know, it blows my mind. I mean, the obvious is this, right? Like he's just been on this tirade on Truth Social, to, telling Iran to open the strait for the past past month back and forth every day, and now he's like doing the exact same and blocking the actual strait.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of lost for words. To be honest,
there's a few countries getting involved into this because obviously we know that the strait is a very important chess piece on the map. But so here's what's going on. So UK is saying that it will not support the blockade. So basically, the UK is saying, hey, like, we're not going to support this blockade that the U.S. is doing. So the UK doesn't support the blockade, and they're actually working with France on a separate, peaceful, multinational mission to reopen the strait. So that's their words.
I heard. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I heard that some EU nations were sending ships to help clear out mines in the strait or something like that. But that's all they were going to do. And that's the only way that they were going to assist the U.S. was just to, like, you know, help detect and clean up mines that are in the strait. But who knows? Yeah,
the EU and the U.S. Navy both started to clear out the mines about like two days ago or so on April 11th. And then Spain's defense minister is calling the blockade senseless, and it's another step in escalation. China told the UAE that blocking the strait doesn't serve the common interest of the international community. I totally agree. And then U.S. intelligence indicates that China is preparing to deliver new air defense systems to Iran within a few weeks. And then nearly 20,000 Indian crew members are stranded on vessels in the strait, running short on food, water, and medical supplies. India's got it bad. We just learned on the way over here that for the U.S., basically what the U.S. is saying is, India, you can come and get your oil from us. We have enough oil to sell you. That's no problem. But we just found out that it would take a 3-month round trip to go get oil from the U.S. to bring it back to India versus normally what they did in about 10 days to 14 days time to get oil through the strait. So that's insane. You're going to tell these people, yeah, just come buy oil from us, even though it takes another 2.5 months for you to get that oil back to you is insane.
Yeah. And to touch on that too as well, we were just listening to this in my car, right? And like how Trump was going on saying, oh, everyone's going to purchase oil from us. And then, on who we were watching, he kind of broke down like how unrealistic that is, like how far how far these oil vessels really have to travel to purchase oil from us, where it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Where a majority of the countries that get their oil from the Strait of Hormuz is just because of like location reason wise, right? Because they're so close to it. If like they would need to like basically travel halfway around the globe just to buy oil from us. Yeah. And at that point, that just still keeps the prices up just because of how long it takes now.
You guys have all heard the quote that history repeats itself. You guys remember what was obviously Pearl Harbor was a string of things, but you guys remember what made Pearl Harbor happen? Like what made it escalate? It was the oil embargo. So at the time, Japan used to get over 80 to 90% of their oil from the U.S. And then U.S. said, we're not giving you any more oil. And that gave the country about 18 to 24 months of total oil before they were just totally all out. And that oil embargo is what led to the escalation of the Pearl Harbor bombing. So, blockades are an act of war.
Yeah. No, you're cutting off. You're essentially and effectively cutting off the life support of a country when you do that.
Multiple countries too.
Yeah.
And that creates a domino effect of everything else that cuts off, right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely a very peculiar situation.
Yep.
But yeah.
And we're now 6.5 weeks, almost 7 weeks into this conflict. The ceasefire did give a brief rally to oil, and oil dropped down to under $100 a barrel, went down to $95 a barrel, and then Bitcoin pumped up. But then again, as soon as the peace talks kind of stopped, everything just kind of went back to where it was. It is a little bit better now because it does seem like we are getting closer, even though, again, literally today they said there is no agreement. But it looks like the market is slowly starting to price in a agreement. There's other stuff happening in the stock and crypto market that we'll go over when we do talk about those topics. But there are other stuff that are being priced into the markets right now. That's all going to unfold here in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I know we just talked about like these peace talks collapsing, but obviously this is a very fluid situation, guys. So like as of like right now, right, like talks are supposedly back on, but there's no details on what's being talked about, right? Like it could go either way at any moment right now. So, don't get caught in the swings of things right now. That's for sure. But let's move on to the next topic, dude. This one's kind of crazy, actually, bro. Like, this is so nuts.
Trump stays the AI slop president, like master.
just like, he's just, honestly, he's kind of terrible for this one. I mean, guys, if you haven't seen, and this is probably like kind of like the biggest thing that's been going on the past couple of days, is that, Trump was bad-mouthing the Pope, called him weak because he had a different opinion of what's going on in the world. I mean, as the head of the Catholic Church, you would think you would be anti-war and all about peace, right? Mm-hmm. So, Trump didn't like what the Pope said. I believe he said, he said, like, enough with war. True strength is manifested in serving life. Just like, I mean, this isn't nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah. Like, this is like, I've never seen
the Vatican.
Yeah, I've never seen a Pope that was like for war, even though that's a different rabbit hole. But like, what the rabbit hole is going to go down to, like, the Catholic Church actually controls a lot. They have a lot of influence,
Kind of like the mafia, bro.
over a lot of things, and they actually call the shots in a lot of ways that people don't realize. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So the Pope, which is our first American Pope, right, from Chicago, was denouncing the war, and he has every right to, right, because it's kind of like an unchristian, ungodlike thing. And Trump just couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah, it was basically, so Hard Hat Degen just posted a truth social that Trump posted, but this all sparked from a truth social that Trump put out saying a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change where different, smarter, less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary wonderful can happen. That doesn't really make sense, but that's what he said. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in a long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death. That sounds like Israel. Will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. And then the Pope responded to that, basically saying, a threat to end an entire civilization. Which, by the way,
sounds crazy.
The Iranian civilization is one of the oldest in the world. So that is crazy. So the Pope said that. Trump wrote back, said he's weak, yada yada, and then Trump said, if I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. And then what did Trump do, Justin?
Yeah, he posted a AI picture of himself literally in the garments of Jesus Christ, right? Trying to picture himself as Jesus Christ. But he got so much backlash for it. He came up with that bullshit lie today saying, like, of course the fake news is going to say I look like this and look like that, but I meant to make myself look like a doctor that's healing people.
Okay.
Doctor. And he goes, because I am. He goes, because I am, because I make people better. I make people feel a lot better.
The way that he talks with his hands too,
dude,
same way.
He's so nuts lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just like the words "a whole civilization will die tonight" is
insane, bro.
That's
an
insane,
entire civilization, buddy.
That is
Relax.
like the most wildest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Anybody in this modern day say.
Yeah.
In a political position.
Right, dude. Especially like, because you're the president of the U.S., whether that's Trump or anyone else, like, you're the president of the U.S. So, like, that can be, like, a serious threat because you actually have the power to do that. But,
people took that as a nuclear threat. A lot of people did. They thought that was a nuclear threat.
We obviously already know that this cabinet clearly doesn't care about where they stand in the midterms, but I do want to break down something else for you guys, too, on the more statistical side. So, 1 out of every 5 voters in the U.S. are actually Catholic. Okay, so that's 20%. So Trump won them by about 20 points in 2024. But just so you guys know, his approval rating from Catholics has dropped down from 59% to 52%. So he's lost 7%.
I'm surprised it's not zero.
Approval rating. I'm sure these are not the most up to date numbers, but he's already lost 7%. And with this Pope stuff going on, maybe it drops down even more.
I hate to think that, like, they just know the midterms are just chalked and they're just going out with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. Unless they come out with, like, the biggest banger ever. It's like, hey, it's midterms. Guess what? We've actually been joshing around this whole time. We've been letting go of people. We've been playing 3D chess. Here's a whole Epstein list. Here's everyone we're taking down. Here's this. But that's not happening. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Where's this missing grandma? Did we ever find her? I don't know why I just thought about her.
Dude, she's not found.
What the?
There's no sign of her. There was rumblings that TMZ got that said that she's still alive, apparently. But there's nothing, like, there's no proof of life still. There's no proof of life, just words. And yeah, that's literally all there is, man. Apparently she's somewhere in Mexico.
Now here's it's, how do I put this delicately? Never mind. Israel is now trying to expand and invade into Lebanon. It's so funny to see a country saying, "Oh, like don't." Oh,
I thought they already did.
Oh, you can't do this. No, they're expanding their insurgents into Lebanon. It's crazy to see a country say, "Oh, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. We're getting attacked. We're getting attacked." But they're always the one like poking first. Mm-hmm. It like reminds me of like. Did you guys ever know somebody in like school that had like a really, really big friend, and then that kid would always just talk shit, and then if you punched him or if you talk shit back, he would go tell his really big friend, and his really big friend would come and fight you? That's like the Israel-U.S. situation right now. Israel knows that it has the back of the U.S. It doesn't give a fuck. It's doing whatever it wants.
Yeah, dude. I mean... Oh, so I'm sorry, right? But yeah, I mean, man, how do we return from this?
I don't know, but during this, and this was all in the last week during the ceasefire talks, Israel expanded and then did some bombs, dropped some bombs. I don't know why I said it like that.
While they're not in the spotlight.
Yeah, and over 100 people were killed.
You know, it's crazy.
It's crazy that wasn't even in the news for a second.
I know.
Not even for a second.
It's crazy, too. It's like, this is, like, if we were to look at this and vice versa, a lot of people's worries was that China was going to move on Taiwan during this whole thing in the Middle East and with, like, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, because they see the distraction and the diversion. Right. But look what Israel's doing. They're using the diversion and distraction to move deeper into Lebanon.
Yep. Over 57 medics have been killed in the last 6 weeks, and then during the ceasefire, one paramedic was killed. So I don't know. Israel is also violating their ceasefire stuff. So it's it's getting hairy out there. And you know what? I was just telling to Justin about. What happened to all this oil we got from Venezuela? Why did oil go up? This is so manufactured, it's insane. After being in the market for now 10 years, like, you can see that this shit is so manufactured. It's just an opportunity to use the market and use warfare to make insane amounts of money. Bro. Like, can you imagine, like, all the boys that knew what to do with oil because of what was going to happen? They got in early and then they just dumped. The same thing with gold and silver. Like,
all this Venezuelan oil that supposedly got unlocked.
God, we got so much oil.
Are we supposed to send all the big oil companies to Venezuela?
We got unlimited oil, and then, oh my God, fuck, we got no oil. Fucking Iran and their nuclear enrichment. God damn it. They've been saying that shit for 40 years.
Yeah, man. I mean,
starting to make it like Iran, huh? Because a few episodes ago, you were like, fuck them completely.
I'm thinking about it. It's so funny seeing like in the beginning or like 2 years ago, where like how like conservative we are, and then now we're like progressively like I mean, we still are kind of, right? I mean, we still are, but like we are slowly becoming not Team Trump.
Dude, I am for America, bro. I'm for what makes America good, dude. I voted for, I mean, did I vote? No. I mean, I wanted to vote for Al Gore, but I wasn't old enough. Bro, I swing both ways. No homo. Bro, just make the country a better fucking place.
I don't even want to vote anymore, bro. I mean, like...
Oh, I've pretty much already, like, completely given up on the fact that there's an actual fair voting process. But
yeah, dude, everyone just talks the talk, man. Everyone just talks the talk. They always make it sound pretty during the campaign. They tell you what you want to hear, and then it slowly gets shoved in your face and up your ass.
Pretty much.
It's nothing new.
Yeah,
that's always happened.
Yep. I'm gonna do some quick fire stocks, and then I'm gonna go over some stock earnings.
Now let's hit it.
That's cool. All right, so of course we know about the ceasefire rally. Guys, what we've been talking about this whole time that I've been talking about the oil plays, the whole time that I've been talking about the shipping plays, about the fertilizer plays, about the food plays, we've all said that it's going to be volatility based on conflict. Bad conflict, all those things will go up. Good news on the conflict side, all those things will go down. That's literally what's happening, right? There's ceasefire talks, the S&P surges up, oil crashes down to under $100. The S&P 500 went green as of today, which is nice because now it's up 0.05% for the year, but it was in the negative. So basically, every single rally this year has been driven by hopes of the war ending, and every sell-off has been driven by the war continuing. And then the ceasefire gave us the best week that we've had basically since November. And then, of course, the blockade announcement took some of it right back. So until the strait actually opens up, this cycle is going to keep repeating over and over until the smart money has gotten into enough of a position and they've accumulated the way that they've wanted to accumulate that this stuff probably will end then. And then, as you guys know, right, actually, let me just say that a bit for later. So what are the banks saying about the recession thresholds? Well, basically kind of the same stuff that we've been saying, guys. JP Morgan said that oils is poised to go to 150, prices heading to 120, 130 in the very near term. We've been saying 120, 150 forever. Goldman Sachs called the strait the largest supply shock in the history of the global crude market. That is true. If blockade reaches May, Asian LNG, which is liquid natural gas, which remember Asia gets 80% of their liquid natural gas from the strait. Basically, Asian liquid natural gas could basically rationing. The rationing of liquid natural gas will speed up dramatically. And then Goldman Sachs is saying that if it does go into May, that they're adding another 30% in the likelihood of a recession happening. So they're nearing like the 70%. Oxford, same stuff, saying if oil goes over 140 for the next 2 months, it's going to be the breaking point enough to push the Eurozone, UK, and Japan into a recession. We've already said that. Moody's saying the same thing. Their AI-driven recession model is at 49% right now. Every time it crossed 50%, a recession happened the next year. Let me say that one more time. So Moody, every time that their AI model crossed 50%, a recession happened the next year. Every time. It's at 49% right now.
Can I add something to this too?
Of course you can add something to this.
I mean, this kind of shows where stuff's going too. But like, I guess Tesla's having a pretty bad inventory problem too of like unsold cars. Mm-hmm. This might not sound like a lot of cars, but they have like last quarter they had 50,000 something unsold cars, which was higher than the previous quarter. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's like, I guess that's worrying a lot of people as well.
Dude, Tesla is probably one of the hardest hit Mag 7 stocks right now.
Yeah.
Decimated.
I think this is why. I don't know. Dude.
It's getting hairy.
It's getting hairy. If people, first of all, Tesla offers incredible deals for the cars, guys. Like very competitive, like very good price, good rates on their cars. If their cars aren't moving, especially in an oil crisis like we're in now, what is that telling you?
Right. I will say maybe Elon saw the writing on the walls, right? He did discontinue two models to build on Optimus. Maybe they shift away from cars completely and just blow out all the cars. Who knows? But you're right, dude. They offer pretty damn good deals. You can you can lease a car for $300-$400
at 0%.
June Sophia brings up a good point. People are waiting on BYD cars. All the
those
Asian
Chinese ones are good.
And Chinese EV cars, dust. absolutely dust the Tesla quality. Tesla quality is dog water.
Well, here's the thing, dude. You'll never see those BYD cars in America. They'll never be sold here.
You'll see some probably come in.
So if it had like a crazy, crazy import tax, exemption, whatever. But as far as you seeing BYD cars sold at the dealership, it will never happen here in America.
In the U.S., huh? I guess it's coming soon to Canada.
Yeah, no, Canada, yeah.
So, guys, when I went to Russia two years back, obviously the sanctions were there. Part of the sanctions is that, and this was so retarded. Part of the sanctions was that a lot of the automakers had to pull out of Russia. We're talking Audi and we're talking Mercedes. Do you know that Russia accounts for over 30% of the S-Class sales and over like 30-something% of the G-Wagon sales? Russia is the biggest consumer of the S-Class and G-Class models by far. So they pulled out, and then China came to Moscow and brought these most insane Chinese EV cars I've seen that are like, holy crap, dude. I was riding around these cars, way better than a Maybach, way sicker interior than a G-Wagon. Of course, the G-Wagon exterior is always the GOAT, but the interiors were insane and the qualities were insane. Dude. And then the costs were a third, if not a fourth of some of these bigger car brands.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh. There's like these, I'm going to say minivan, right? But the bells and whistles these freaking EV minivans have in China that you can't even get in the most highest end luxury cars is insane, bro. We're talking like $30,000 cars with refrigerators in them, full reclining massaging seats, starlit roof.
You remember those taxis we had in Singapore? We're like, dude, this thing is sick, and dude, that was an old ass van.
Exactly that, but like magnified by 20 in technology.
Kitted out now, yeah. That was an old model. Anyway, so guys, also this week we got earnings season kicking off. Yep. So in the beginning of the episode, I said there's going to be two things that now set the tone for the rest of the year. One we know is the Clarity Act for crypto, which actually there's some news on it as of today. The other thing is earnings season. So all the banks kick off this week. Goldman Sachs reported today. I don't know how they did. Maybe someone can check in the chat. But tomorrow we got JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Johnson & Johnson, BlackRock. Wednesday we got Bank of America, Morgan Stanley. And then later this week, guys, we got Netflix and some other big ones, guys. So you guys know what the weight of the S&P is, right? And we talked about how the Magnificent Seven hold over 30% of the weight in the S&P 500. Well, guys, just this week, 12% of the weight of the S&P 500 is going to go through earnings. So that's quite a bit, okay? Travel is getting reduced. Delta Airlines already warned that they'll have a meaningful reduced near-term capacity growth due to rising jet fuel costs. And if banks signal credit tightening or recession preparation in their guidance, that's the real market moving story right there. But so if you guys have been looking at flights now, they've gone up crazy now.
Really?
Like round trip LA to Vegas, like $400 or $500.
Oh my god.
I'm thankful right now that the flights for Denmark that I got to book aren't up too crazy, but United used to charge like $1,100, $1,200. They're charging like $1,700, $1,900 now.
Oh my.
And it's some of the airlines for like some of these flights to Germany, to Austria, because our friend Zach goes there. Dude, $3-4 grand for like the later months. So basically right now, like the flights that are within the next 2-3 weeks cost less, but because they're pricing for the price of oil in the next couple weeks, the price of flights a few weeks out are going up crazy right now, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some shicey stuff where people that booked their flights before any of this thing was happening, they cancel their flights and make people rebook, or well, not make them rebook, but like open them back up to cover the cost. So
off topic, but there was a massive rise. Like it was a problem of what's happening in Indigo Valley for Coachella right now is these homeowners that have rezos made for the longest time canceled, and then raise the price like 4 or 5x, and then people get there the day before and have nowhere to check in because the owners just cancel on them.
Oh my god.
It's like it's a whole thing right now, bro. Like that's like happening. Like,
dude, some of those RVs are like
20 grand for a little tent.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's Coachella, by the way, guys. Totally forgot. By the way, off topic, Justin Bieber got paid $10 million for his performance.
Performance.
Did you see? Did you watch the performance?
I saw bits of it. It's got mixed criticism. Some people, he was just like scrolling forever on YouTube.
I'm going to explain why.
But some people loved it because he really he was like vibing to the old stuff. And is it because of the music rights?
Yeah, but he sold his music.
Right, because he sold the music, but because he's singing along to the music, it's different, which is kind of smart as fuck.
No, there's like a certain there was a certain time period, or like a certain catalog of music. Like some of them, he still, like the ones that he's performing on YouTube, he didn't sell.
Yeah.
But I guess like the ones that he sold, if he ever performed them, he would have to pay up on them. But that's why he was going through YouTube, going through his old songs, and he was just singing them.
That's kind of a vibe. But anyway, let's fire away some more stock stuff. We know that the energy sector is still dominating completely. Energy is up 34%. Man, Exxon is up 42%. Chevron is surging. Gas is surging. The software sector is still getting toast, though. Salesforce down 3.5%. ServiceNow down 8%. Datadog down 5%. What is crushing, bravo to my SanDisk investors, that baby hit like $985 today. If you guys remember, like 2 episodes ago, I was like, SanDisk is $700. This is going to be $1,000 stock. Hello. It's now $1,000 stock. Hope you guys got in on some SanDisk.
Yeah.
Let's break down some of the big dog earners now for April, okay? All right. So, we talked about the banks, we talked about Netflix, yada yada yada. This stuff pretty chill. Now, next week, all right, we have Tesla reporting on April 20th, all right? The first full year revenue decline in history last year, by the way. The whole year declining revenue, guys. Robotics and automation is their pivot. We know that the Model S production ended and factory converted to robotics. So a year in decline in revenue. So let's see what they say on the earnings call. Let's see if their pivot is working.
It's going to be bad.
Let's see if they're saving costs. I know it's not going to be good. And then April 22nd, Google. Big dog here, guys. They're going to be reporting on April 22nd. Their cloud growth is up 48% year over year. Their YouTube ad revenue is going crazy right now. And then they have another 175 to 185 CapEx guidance for 2026. Amazon has some crazy CapEx guidance as well. And if you guys remember a couple episodes ago, we were talking about Amazon and how it's in a breakout area and there's 2 big gaps to the upside. Look how much Amazon has crushed completely in the last week. It's pumped over 15-20% or something. So basically, if you guys want to know what a CapEx means, it's basically funds that a company has to buy maybe another company or buy some assets or maybe buy some technology that will help sustain its business. So basically, Google is investing another 175 to 185 billion in technology. I know Amazon is going to invest like another 150 plus billion in their CapEx. So that's what we have next week. Funny enough, Tesla is reporting earnings on 4/20, and I know how Elon always loves to make a joke about that. Anyway, and then the following week, guys, April 27th to May 2nd, this is peak earnings season. This is when the markets are going to get hairy. I keep saying that. April 29th, Block Square, no big deal. But April 30th, guys.
Well, hold on. They just fired 4,000 people. How does that affect earnings?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means that their spend is going to go down.
Yeah. So
Meta, same thing, guys. Meta, guys, look what's going on. All right. Meta also investing $110 billion in CapEx for AI, which means investing in AI technology. Where is that $110 billion coming from? From the thousands of staff that they're letting go. It's now a requirement if you're a dev on Meta that, what the fuck are you laughing about?
Go. Sorry.
You got all mad because people were being loud last week and you're cutting me off.
Something threw me off, bro. Something threw me off.
So Zuckerberg has been firing thousands and thousands of devs basically because of Claude and Claude Code and AI. You don't need junior level devs anymore. You don't need mid-level devs anymore. You need full stack devs that are senior devs that are working with AI. It's now a requirement to work with AI. If you are not working with AI, you literally lose your job. So we know that Meta is going to be focusing on in investing in AI. Their ad revenue resilience is going crazy. And then they're working on their new AI model. It's their frontier model. It's going to be called Avocado.
Interesting.
Now, can I finish, or do you have something to laugh about?
I got another laugh.
Okay, cool.
Go on.
All right. Apple is reporting April 30th.
You just sit up straight when you talk.
Got that, dude. Apple is saying that they have a supply chain disruption from the Iran war. They have plenty of inventory. I don't care. Siri AI overhaul with Google Gemini. Can we all agree that Siri voice chat is the most, I'm going to throw a hard R, is the most retarded technology I've ever used in the world? Damn. Like, are you freaking kidding me, bro? I speak to Siri and it can't understand a single thing. I speak to Claude and I mumble. I say, oh, never mind. I meant this, that, whatever. I'll like slur and shit and it, perfect.
Well, Siri isn't AI.
Yeah, so it's voice recognition, bro.
I know. I mean, it's
like you can't recognize.
Stupid.
It's meant to be stupid.
Yeah.
And then we have Microsoft that's reporting earnings at the end of the month as well. They have growth on Azure, which is their AI model. They're spending $99 billion on CapEx this year. And then we have Amazon that's investing over $150 billion in CapEx, and they might increase that budget. Guys, Amazon might be able to benefit from the AI craze probably more than any of these companies. Amazon does so much repetitive operation. That's where AI thrives.
Yeah. They have the infrastructure.
They have the vehicles for it. They watch out for Amazon. There's a very, very smart investor that I'm telling you, like one of the most goated investors. He's like one of the some of the AIs that he invested in turned like 20 grand to like $80+ million.
Wow,
dude.
what the heck? I'm done.
This guy put me on the deep intricacies of Amazon. There's an episode on it, actually. If anyone watches the podcast, the Iced Coffee Hour.
Oh, I love that podcast.
There's one there. This guy talked about exactly why Amazon is going to be the GOAT when it comes to taking over for the company, because Amazon has the most room to basically dump human employees and the most room to operate as efficiently as possible with AI.
Yeah.
It's a really good episode.
Dude, they're going to be purely robotics and AI.
Jordan's going to say, I love the Iced Coffee Hour. I already see him typing. Let's see. And then, of course, in typical NVIDIA fashion, NVIDIA will come in way later to earnings because it does always. They don't report until May 20th, guys. So let's recap, all right? So S&P 500 companies, they're expected to post 12% of their weight in Q1 this week. Super important. That means, let's say, if everything goes terrible, the S&P can lose, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 12% if shit goes to zero, but that's impossible. Delta's already warning about reduced flights. That means airlines costs are going to go up. Their revenues will go down. And then basically Microsoft, Meta, Google are hyper scaling into investing into AI. Combined, guys, they're investing over $500 billion. That's a $500 billion in AI investments just spread between 4 companies. So the market's definitely going to want to see some ROI on that spending and not just some more promises, but I think we are seeing that. And man, did you guys see, side note, Claude Mythos came out and Claude's like, this is way too strong.
Was that the code that got leaked?
I'm not sure if it got leaked, but basically with this one, it's like 15 to 20% stronger than Opus, which is the one that we do all the code on now.
Yeah.
But Mythos has cybersecurity capabilities. So that's why they're like, whoa, this is too dangerous.
Yeah, dude. No, I think that's it was like 500,000 pages or lines of code or whatever that got leaked that they are really worried about. But yeah, super strong.
Holy shit. Did you guys just see Bless, dude? That thing pumped over. My God, dude.
What pumped?
Bless, dude.
What the hell's Blessed?
Pumped up 368% today. It's a trade that we've been talking about today, all chat. And guys, VVVV, we got in at what, 670, 6 or 7, around $7. It's like $9 now. Jesus. All right, let's get into crypto.
Yeah, let's go to crypto. I think we should cover the Justin Sun thing first because that's going to take up more time.
All right, yeah, dude, I see your detailed timeline. I put a little my own little detailed timeline. Let's break this down, guys. Let's talk about the corruption. Let's talk about Chase Hero. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that. I think because I saw L4 type it in the chat. Let's talk about the scam-ademic at World Liberty Financial.
All right. You want me to go first or you're...
Yeah, fire off. I'm kind of tired of yapping.
Okay. Guys, we actually did talk about this a few episodes back.
Yep, we did.
Because
it started in like, what, September?
Maybe a little bit after or before, whatever. Anyways, Justin Sun, we all know he was a major and still is a major investor into World Liberty Financial. About $75 million to be exact. Okay. A few months ago, he tried moving his assets or his tokens over to an exchange, not the whole thing, but his wallet got blacklisted right away, so he couldn't move those assets anymore. Now that caused a whole drama thing with like World Liberty Financial not being fully decentralized, being it super centralized. They're having a backdoor, etc. Right now, it's even more amplified because they just had a DAO vote recently, right? And with DAO votes, like people will vote on not necessarily a DAO vote, but just like you have voting rights when you hold that token. So you could people will vote on like purchases or transactions and so forth, yada yada yada. And I'm guessing something came from it to where Justin decided to lash out again. But the main thing he was he pointed out is that the smart contract is upgradable for World Liberty Financial, meaning they could change the permissions on it anytime that they want, right?
Right, which is crazy.
And one thing that he noticed is that there is, the blacklisting of the wallet function is not a new thing, right? And beforehand, it used to be a multi-sig function, meaning 3 out of 5 people had to approve to blacklist a wallet, right? Now they come to find out it's actually controlled by one person, and then it's an externally owned account, an external wallet essentially, or an external address, right? So so at any given time, this one person has complete control of the entire contract, right? It's not multi-sig. So that caused a lot of red flags in the world, internally with World Liberty Financial and its investors and everything. So, and Justin Sun and World Liberty Financial were battling out over Twitter. It's basically getting to the point where now they're going to go to court for it, pretty much. Now, if you guys are crypto Twitter sleuths like I am, there was this account that kind of wrote this huge expose on World Liberty Financial, but he read it in satire, but in reality, it's like really true. And he wrote it as if he was one of the board members of World Liberty Financial. He says this. He's one of the 12 people listed on the World Liberty Financial team page. 4 people have the last name Trump. 3 people have the last name Witkoff, by the way.
Did you see the post that L4 just did too?
What post?
I am the Web3 ambassador at World Liberty Financial. There are 12 of us on the team page.
Yeah, that's the one I'm about to read.
Trump, 3 are named Witkoff. The page calls us the passionate minds shaping the future of finance. And then it goes, 600,000 wallets bought our meme coin. They lost 3.8.
That's what
I mean, what the fuck did you expect from the meme coin? But
that's what I was about to read.
But what president puts out a meme coin? Savage.
Yeah. But let's break down that tweet because there's more to that tweet. It's the most viral thread right now. People are calling it probably the greatest thread of all time in X's history. But yeah, so he says in this thread, 600,000 wallets bought the World Liberty Financial meme coin. They lost $3.87 billion on that coin. They're talking about the people that bought that coin.
Yep.
The family collected $350 million in trading fees from it. The meme coin launched 3 days before the inauguration. Guys, I want you to put the pieces together while I read these bullet points, right? And you let me know if there's a conflict of interest or some kind of crime going on. 80% of supply went to 2 family-controlled LLCs, CIC Digital LLC and Fight LLC. 75 cents of every dollar in protocol revenue goes to DT Marks DeFi LLC, Donald Trump Marks DeFi LLC, family, and that's their family entity. Zero capital is contributed to that. Zero liability. He says he wrote this into the official gold paper. Guys, remember, I'm reading this as if I'm like the founder or one of the co-founders of World Liberty Financial or one of the devs behind World Liberty Financial. But he's trying to point out all the wrongdoing. So stick along. Justin Sun put in $75 million. His SEC fraud case was dropped. He became a World Liberty Financial advisor. CZ from Binance got a pardon. World Liberty Financial stablecoin was used to settle a $2 million deal with Abu Dhabi. BitMinex founders got pardons. Company itself got pardoned. Sheikh Tahnoon, Abu Dhabi, paid $500 million for a 49% stake, and this was never disclosed. The only reason this got found, by the way, people didn't know that this sheikh from Abu Dhabi invested in World Liberty Financial until the New York Times investigated it and pointed it out. Then the administration approved semiconductor exports over national security objections. This is from Abu Dhabi. Barron Trump, 19, is also listed as a Web3 ambassador, same title as the author. Trump signed Executive Order 14233, creating the strategic Bitcoin reserve while the family holds billions in BTC. Trump Media put $2 billion of Bitcoin on his balance sheet, ticker DJT. Yep. So to sum this up, guys, the meme coin funds the family funds the platform funds the stablecoin, the stablecoin funds the deals require the pardons.
It's you remember, like, it's like what's going on with AI companies and the chips. They're like investing in AI and using the AI to invest in chips, and then chips and invite, and it just like
they're all circle jerking each other.
Exactly. Exactly. I kind of want to add into this timeline, right? So we know that Justin Sun invested over like $175 million into World Liberty Financial. 75?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. That was 175. And then on April 9th, just a couple days ago, here's where stuff gets even more hairy. World Liberty Financial deposits $5 billion WLF tokens worth $75 million as collateral to a DeFi lender, Dolomite, and borrowed $75 million in stablecoins. So it gave WLF tokens as collateral, and then it borrows $75 million in stablecoins. What? But here's the kicker. Dolomite was co-founded by Corey Kaplan. Who's Corey Kaplan? He also serves on the World Liberty Financial Advisor Board. So they're borrowing from a platform run by their own guy, just like Vody was basically saying. And over $40 million of those funds were sent to Coinbase. And then on April 12th, just yesterday, Sun goes on public and basically says World Liberty Financial is treating their users like personal ATMs and extracting illegitimate fees. And then he says that the project has concealed blacklist backdoor inside in its token and smart contract, just like Justin was saying. So that lets the insiders freeze anyone's wallet without basically any notice. So he's saying that he's the largest and first victim. World Liberty Financial fires back and says Justin's favorite move is playing the victim while making baseless allegations, yada yada. And like Justin was saying about the CZ pardon and then the timing of everything happened, if you guys remember the October podcast episodes when that crazy liquidation event happened, I kept saying, guys, if you had put a gun to my head right now and said if you're wrong you die, I would have said it was the World Liberty Financial and Binance that was behind that, because World Liberty had a 30% drop because one of the insiders dumped so much over a half hour before any tweet, anything. And then it recovered about 14%. And then Trump did that tweet. And then World Liberty got wrecked. Binance wrecked. Everything got wrecked. And then out of every single token, BNB token, the Binance token went to new all-time high and then got crushed after that. Hello?
Guys, in short, all he's saying is buy Zcash and Hyperliquid.
I'm not saying that.
Just saying. But no, I'm kidding.
Crypto's a scam. Just go back to options.
You can't do this shit with Pokemon cards.
That's true. Yo, oh my God, guys. A lot of the girls made fun of me. You got to stop collecting Pokemon, you loser. Well, guess what? That Mewtwo I bought for $200 2 years ago is $4,000 right now. So what's up?
Oh my, how the tables have turned.
What's up?
Girls used to glaze over Crypto Bros like a few years ago.
Now it's having a Charizard slab.
Yeah, now they're glazing over Pokemon collectors, because now if you tell a girl that how I'm into crypto, just like 10 years ago, she looks at you like you're a freaking nerd loser.
Like, oh, so you lost all your money?
Yeah, so you were just buying fake fucking internet money?
So you're retarded? Yeah. Have you seen my Charizard? No, guys, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But it's obviously, guys, there's this manipulation we're seeing in crypto, that's literally happening in oil. That's happening everywhere. It's the name of the goddamn game.
Well, hey, yo, Munyon, chill, bro. Yo.
I just showed her my SU sweat print. Hey, yo. So you're broke? June Sophia's laughing.
So you don't have real money is what you're saying. That's what the girls say. Like, you don't have like actual like physical money. You have like pretend money.
Dude, I have all this money in crypto. Can you pay for dinner? Well, it's in my wallet, so I can't really.
I gotta move it. Gotta transfer it to this wallet, to that wallet. I gotta grab my ledger out of my bag. Gotta put in the code.
Fuck! I don't have enough gas fees.
Then I gotta send it to Coinbase, and then I gotta cash out and do an instant transfer. Then there's a fee on that.
Yo, Blaster sent me a video of a guy at I think it was a baseball game, showing this girl his like Costco card as a flex. I was like, yo, wait till I show her my black executive card.
Dang.
From Costco. Man, I think that's all we got time for today, but the other stuff is not that crazy, honestly.
Do you want me to do like a rapid fire?
Yeah, sure.
Rapid fire.
Rapid it.
All right, guys. Hyperliquid has hit $5 billion traded value locked. Total value locked. Sorry, $5 billion total value locked. That's a crazy number. Obviously, that's because of their new update where anybody can make a perpetual market off of anything. That's why you saw those commodity markets, those synthetic markets on Hyperliquid, and they have ran off to the races. Starkware. You guys know Starknet, that huge Ethereum layer 2. Actually, it was very popular. I know a lot of you in this community were all about Starknet. Well, it turns out they're going to be laying off a ton of staff, because they went from earning $6 million a month to about $48K a month now, and they're slowly going underwater. And then backed crypto lender Blockfills files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They are pretty much insolvent. based on what I'm reading real quickly. And then hackers minted 1 billion DOT tokens, Polkadot, on Ethereum mainnet, then sold them off. Did it hurt the price a lot? Not that much. They only honestly walked away with 237K. So not that much money. I think Polkadot would recover if they show that they've made their chain a lot more stronger and patched the vulnerability. And that's all we got for crypto.
Oh, Noah, can I get a 2-minute rapid fire as well?
Yeah. Hit it.
Guys, quick facts. We talked about how the big guys invest when everyone's scared, right? Yes, all this stuff is happening. Yes, we were just laughing how crypto's in the shit. But guys, there's serious moves happening behind the scenes. Here's one of them. Sailor just bought 13,927 Bitcoin. His first $1 billion purchase, guys. BlackRock has bought $3 billion in Bitcoin since the war started. They bought 3 billion Bitcoin in 6 weeks. BlackRock did, okay? And then everyone's scared about quantum. Guess what? Bitcoin just has a new proposal called it's called the BIP 360. It was merged in February. There's still some more stuff going on it, but it can potentially resist quantum, guys. And then last but not least, the Clarity Act. I keep talking about that. Guys, the Senate is now officially back in house now that Easter is over. The Senate is back in house. The break is over. This is going to be the most important crypto legislation in history. If this passes, we're going to know in about 2 weeks or so if this passes. And I already told you guys why this is so important. It's because most of crypto will be treated as a commodity, and then that means the CFTC has regulation over crypto and not the SEC. It'll be a massive move. Justin, last line, take it away, pal.
No, I mean, yeah, guys, that's all we got. That's my last line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all we got, guys.
That's all we got.
Everybody. See you guys on the trade floors. I got to go work out twice because I hate myself and started 75 hard today. So I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. All right, peace out, y'all.
Peace.